I just realized I was talking with my mic off. Sorry about that. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mike, and I run the Frugal Fam YouTube channel, which is all about saving money and learning more about your personal finances. So every Friday, I run this live trivia game using the Kahoot app. And so if you want to play, all you have to do is follow the directions on the screen. As you can see, I'm the only one that's logged in right now. Um, the way this is going to work, if you're new to the game, basically the first 5 questions are going to be completely random. And then the financial portion of the game will start on question number 6. And we'll run 2 rounds of this. So if you can't make it for the first round, then we'll do a second round immediately after. So without further ado, hope you guys are having a good start to your Friday. Let's jump into the game. All right. So as I mentioned, the first 5 questions are going to be completely random. So first question, what is the unit of currency in Laos? I think it's pronounced Laos. Has anyone ever been to that part of Asia before? Yeah, so I forgot I'm the only one playing, so I have to like slow down my answers. Yeah, when I originally so these questions I found online, so I'm gonna be answering them as if it's the first time I've played this game. Um, yeah, Laos is in Asia. Did not know what their currency was, so I guessed on it, and so I actually guessed the Kanra, but the correct answer is actually the Kip. Never been to Laos before. I've been to Singapore once. That's about the extent of my travel in Asia. Um, but yeah, learn something new. So let's jump into the next question. So you got 0 points there. Yeah, and so it's not too late. It's never too late to join the game. If you want to join, you can join at any time. I have the instructions on the pink box on the screen. So if you want to play, you can either use the app on your phone or you can go to their website. And then all you have to do is type in the PIN number and you can join. Yeah, so this is another random question. I don't know if we have any I guess marine biologist in the chat, but you're trying to figure out which animal is a chon chondrichthyes. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher that name. Again, this is completely random. I've never heard of that name before, so you'll see in a few seconds what my answer was. Yeah, so when I originally played, I thought it was an octopus. Completely random guess. So I actually Googled it, and it looks like that class of animal is a great white shark. So they are known. So any animal that falls into that category, their exoskeleton is like a majority um, based on cartilage. So any animal that has like basically their whole body is like full of cartilage. So I think out of these answers, the great white shark would be the correct one. Still no points. Moving on. Should also mention there is a slight lag between YouTube and the actual stream. So it should be about a 10-second lag. So I tried to make the questions are try to give you all a minute to answer. So I think that should be enough time to get your answer in. So apologize for the delay, but that's what we're working with this technology. Yeah. So third random question: what is the name of the Canadian national anthem? So this is actually a question I got right. Um, there's only one out of all the answers. There's only one that I recognize. Yeah. So the right answer is "Oh Canada." So I've never heard of. It looks like the bottom left answer. They just took the Star Spangled Banner and just replaced it with Leaf. But yeah, "Oh Canada" is the only one I recognize there. So shout out to anyone who's Canadian that's watching at home right now. I'm currently in the U.S. and it is currently the morning. It is 10:15 in the morning. I have my coffee mug here. All right, next question. All right, question about Australia. Always wanted to go to this country, never have, but definitely on my to-do list. Which of these is not an Australian state or territory? Yeah, and a few of these answers they look familiar to me. Like I've definitely heard of some of these. But again, when I originally took the quiz, I was pretty much guessing. Yeah, so this is one of the few that I got right. Alberta, I think it's because I watch. I don't know if you've heard of Nelk, but Nelk, I feel like somewhere in the Nelk videos, they're from Canada, and I feel like I've heard Alberta from their channel, but I believe Alberta is actually in Canada. Um, so I guessed on that and got it right. But yeah, Alberta is not an Australian state or territory. So fun fact. All right. Yeah, and just as a reminder, if you want to play, it's not too late. Just got to follow the instructions that are in the pink box on the screen. So this will be our last random question, and then we will move into the financial section of the quiz. So this question is, where is the Luxor Hotel and Casino located? So I don't know if anyone follows Magic at all. I'm not really a Magic fan, but I have seen a lot of magicians on YouTube, and so I think I think David Blaine, who's like a famous magician, he has done a show at the Luxor before. So I think I've seen him online. It it looks like it's basically just like a pyramid. Um, would be really cool to check out. Yeah. Oh, looks like I missed. Forgot to answer on that one. Yeah. So when I answered, I guessed, and I thought it was Las Vegas. But I think they threw Las Vegas in there to kind of trick you because I mean that's where like a majority of casinos are located. Um, yeah, it's not Egypt. Although I think there is a Luxor, Egypt, but the actual casino is located in Paradise, Nevada. So never been there, but it would definitely be cool to check out at some point. All right, we are about to start the financial portion of the quiz. If you want to play along at home, you are more than welcome to. Again, all you have to do is follow the instructions that are in the pink box on the screen. And I probably should have said. So I found a I found this particular quiz on a college website. So Penn State University has a financial literacy quiz, and so all of these questions are from their website. So a lot of them are geared towards college students, um, and I thought they were kind of basic, but I'm gonna be answering them as if it's my first time doing the quiz. So I'll let you know right now, I did not get 100%. So you guys will see which questions I get wrong. But it looks like our first question is going to be based on basic budget. So what is a budget? What does being on a budget mean? Yeah, so being on a budget. So the reason I hope those symbols didn't confuse anyone, but you can only have so many characters in these boxes. So the correct answer is a budget is when you make a spending plan of your expenses and they have to be less than or equal to your income. So if you've ever heard of there's a budget called a zero-based budget, and that's essentially where you take your income that you receive each month and your goal is to make your expenses be equal to your income. So when you take your income and you subtract all of your expenses for that month, your overall balance should equal zero. So that doesn't mean you should be spending 100% of your money on like random stuff like shopping and stuff. It means that after you pay your bills, after you take care of your needs to survive and then invest, after all that's done, then you should have nothing left over. And that would be an ideal zero-based budget. So that one I actually did get right. We'll keep it moving. Second question here. Yeah, so like I said, a lot of these questions are based for college students. So a lot of like credit card questions. There are some like student loan questions in here. But it looks like this question is going to be about your credit report. So how often should you review your free credit report? And so this is not to be confused with your credit score. So your credit report. I won't go into too much detail because I think there's another question about this, but it's basically like your financial history with your spending and your debt. Yeah, so this one I got right. So your free credit report. So you want to be checking it once a year. So why does it even matter? Your credit report matters. There's a few reasons, but I would say an important one is fraud. So you might have a credit card out that someone's currently spending, and it's significantly lowering your credit score, and so you may not even know about it. That's why it's a good idea to at least check your credit report once a year. You're allowed to get one free report a year, and there is another question about this that'll show you where you can get your free credit report from. I think it might be next. Let's see. Yeah, next question. So it's basically a continuation of the previous question. So so if you want a free credit report, where do you get it from? And so this is something that is authorized by the government. And I actually made so if you check out the videos that are on my channel, I do scripted videos as well. And so I made a credit card series about this. And I actually downloaded my own credit report and I walked through it. So you can see my credit report. I mean, obviously I blurred out personal information, but you can see how it's like set up and the different components of it. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. So the picture that I had on the screen is actually like the web page um, for the website. But yeah, annualcreditreport.com. You can get one per year um, based on the credit bureaus. So there's three credit bureaus. So really, you can get one from each credit bureau. So technically, you could do three credit reports a year because you're only requesting one from each bureau, and because there's three, you can get three per year. So that's the website. Definitely check it out. I know when I checked my credit report, I didn't realize that I had a credit card open still that I don't use. So it's good. It's good to take a look at it at least once a year. All right, and another credit score question. So, what is considered an excellent credit score? Excellent credit score. So, oh, excuse me, my voice is gone. Jeez. So, one of those answers should definitely be wrong. Yeah. So, your credit score is only out of 850. So, as far as I'm aware, the highest score you can get is 850. So, the bottom right is obviously going to be incorrect. Um, yeah, my score. Thankfully, I think mine's at like a seven. I don't know, 80 or something. I have to check it again, but according to Experian, so Experian is one of the three credit bureaus. So that's where you get your credit report from. The a bad credit score would top right. So they actually have 670. So 670 and below is going to be considered a bad credit score. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not able to get loans. It just means that when you do get a loan, when you borrow from a bank, you're not going to have the best terms on it. So you might get a higher interest rate. So yeah, your goal is really above 670. But yeah, an excellent score would be 720 or above. And got some points on the board. Let's keep the game moving. All right, credit score question. So it's basically saying, why is your credit score important? Once again, not too late to join the game. Last week we actually had a pretty good turnout. I think we had like at one point we may have had 9 people playing, um, which I would say is a lot. I think that's the record so far. As long as one person plays, then it's good because it is kind of weird playing versus yourself. But that's why I do 2 rounds. So in case you can't make it the first round, at least you can play for the second round. Yeah, all the above. So credit score. So let's run through these real quick. Yeah, so an obvious one, credit score. Anytime you want to get a loan from a bank, they're going to be running your credit score. to determine how risky of a borrower you are. Um, and that's basically what helps them determine what interest rate they're going to charge you. From a personal experience, I recently used to live in Boston, Massachusetts, and in Boston, in terms of a credit score, because the it's so competitive to rent different apartments, um, landlords will often run your credit score to see because they want to ensure that they're going to get paid each month. So if you have a poor credit score, it can sometimes hurt you when it comes to renting an apartment. Um, so that's something that happened to me recently. But yeah, credit. That's a few of the reasons why your credit score is important. All right, keeping the game moving. Another credit score question. So, which is not a method to improve your credit score? Yeah, and I wish I had the chart. There's a chart that shows you the five different components that influence your credit score. Yeah, so if you want to improve your credit score, if you pay cash for everything and you never borrow money, that's not going to help your credit score. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you follow Dave Ramsey's a famous talk show host. He's like kind of like a financial guru, but he advocates for never using debt to pay for things. So it's not a bad thing, but it's not going to actually affect your credit score. So that's why that is the correct answer. All right, 3,000 points. Hopefully later in the game, maybe in round two, we get some more people to play. Just have a little more interaction. I know 10 a.m. is a weird time. It's 10 a.m. where I live right now, so I'm on the East Coast in the U.S. I'm currently in the process of, well, I'm getting ready to sell a house. So I normally do this game a little bit later in the afternoon, but because I have an open house later, I have to change my trivia time around. So I know it's an awkward time in the U.S., but I know internationally, um, people may be playing a little bit later in the afternoon. Yeah, and I'm. It's weird. I'm usually the guy when I see when I do like multiple choice quizzes or tests. Anytime I see all the above, I usually always assume that's the right answer, and I know that's not always the case. But we can kind of go through these real quick. So, how can you help fund your college education? So, the top left is going to be your FAFSA and your TAP. So, TAP stands for Tuition Assistance Program. So, I believe that is for New York State in the US. So, that's going to help you. From my understanding, that's a grant program. So, you apply, and based on what school you go to, you may get accepted for grants. And so that's money that you do not have to pay back. So that's one way to pay for college. And then the other two is, let's see, yeah, you trying to get a college scholarship, or you can basically work your way through school. I think if I could give a younger the younger audience some advice. So I graduated with close to $100,000 in student loans. So if I could do it all over again, I would 100% go to community college first. And community college, you can usually get scholarships to. Um, and even if you can't, it's definitely doable to have a part time job and attend community college at the same time. But you go to community college for 2 years, graduate, get super good grades, try to get a 4.0, and then you can transfer to a 4 year school. Try to go to like a state university that's in state, and usually you can get scholarships. But even if you don't get scholarships, instead of taking out loans for a 4 year school, now you only have to take out loans for 2 years instead of four. So yeah, I would 100% go to community college first if I could do it all over again. Trying to graduate with zero debt is that would be the goal if I could do it all over again. Yeah, this one I saw on the quiz. I thought it was pretty common sense. And so this will be interesting when I play the second round after this. We'll see what everyone else answers. But you have your wants and you have your needs. So what is going to be an example of a need? Yeah, and I thought this picture was pretty clever. Oh, it looks like I got my answer in just in time. Yeah, so a want and a need. A Florida vacation. Yeah, a vacation would be awesome, but you do not need a vacation to survive. Same with clothes. I mean, you do need clothes, but it sounds like the way they word the question, the answer. New clothes on sale. You don't necessarily need new clothes to survive. You could do a thrift store. A laptop. A laptop. I would say you might be able to make an argument for. If you're a student, do you need a laptop to survive in school? Absolutely not. I mean, you could always go to the library. Would it be a lot easier if you have a laptop in college? 100%. But yeah, the best answer here is going to be books for college. And so the next question, so that was the needs. Or sorry, was that no, no, that was wants. So the next question is going to be about the opposite. Oh, it looks like I got that backwards. So the previous question was needs. This question is going to be wants. And again, not too late to join the game if you want to play. The directions are on the screen in the pink box. Yeah, so we'll finish up this game and then probably take a 10-minute intermission, little break, and then we'll come back after 10 minutes and then we will play the game again. And then I'm hoping we can get a little more people to play this time. I mean, honestly, if we get one extra person, I think that's awesome because that means I'm not playing the game by myself. I chose the wrong one. Yeah, I just didn't get my answer in on time. So yeah, this one I actually got right when I originally took the quiz. Something that you want. So, do you need a TV to survive? No. So I mean, room and board, you need that. Um, you need a place to live. Supplies for class, yes, you need that for school. Walking shoes to get around on campus, yes. TV you can live without. You don't need that, especially if you're in college. You don't necessarily need that to, get through school. So that's going to be the wrong answer. Yeah, so didn't get any points because I clicked the wrong button. All right, we have a true or false question. And so the Kahoots game, it doesn't let you um, put a certain amount of characters in the questions. So anytime it's a super long question, I actually have to take a screenshot of it, and so I post it as a picture. Um, so this one, it looks like it's about buying a car with a loan. So if you borrow money to pay for a new car and then you don't pay the money back, then the next time you go and try to borrow money, you'll be able to get a loan. Yeah, so hopefully I didn't make that confusing. So the basic idea is you take out money for a car and then you just don't pay the money back. And so what it's saying is, are you true or false? You are able to get another loan, um, even though you didn't pay back your first loan. So yeah, the answer is going to be false. I'm sure there's still cases where someone might be willing to give you a loan, but the whole idea on like your credit history is whenever you borrow money to pay for something, before the lender gives you money, they want to make sure that you're a reliable borrower and that you're going to pay them back. So the fact that you didn't pay back the car dealer in the first time, that's going to make it extremely difficult for you to borrow money again, because it shows that you have a history of not paying back your debts. So that's why the answer is going to be false here. All right, another true or false question. All right, credit score. It helps my credit score to pay bills each month on time and not skip any month. True or false? Yeah, and I wish for the picture I should have put the five different components that make up a credit score. So the most influential factor that affects your credit score is your payment history. So that would be paying your bills on time each month. So for this question, this represents 35% of your credit score. So this is going to be paying your bills on time is the most influential factor that is going to affect your credit score. And it looks like we got some points on the board. I think one of these questions at the end I actually got wrong. So I think this was the question. This is the one that I got wrong when I originally took the quiz. So it looks like it's asking. So in which instance would it be beneficial to borrow money to buy something now and then repay it in the future? Yeah, so this one, yeah, so in a few seconds I'll show you which one I answered, and then we can see what the right answer is. Yeah, so the right answer is if you were to buy a car today, and then pay it off in the future. So you're buying a car today because you have a new job. The answer I went with was the bottom right. I don't know why, but I instantly saw like investing, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. But yeah, no, borrowing money. I actually have experience with this. Taking out a loan and then using that money to invest. So if a bank is giving you, if you have to pay 3% on a loan, let's say, and you're hoping that you put that money in the stock market, and instead of getting a 3% return, you get a 10% return, and so that 6% interest would be your difference. Very risky move, definitely not advised. I did that once and I lost a lot of money. So that's why your bottom right is not going to be the best answer here. But buying a car because you just got promoted in a new job, if you need that car to get to your new job, then that would be the best case for this situation. So yeah, I didn't get any points there. And this one I got right. I guessed on it though. I did not know this, so this is something learned something new today. Um, it'll be interesting to see if we get some more people to play what everyone else thinks about this question. Definitely was new information for me. Yeah, when it comes to fraud, though, I do know that fraud, when you're using a credit card, you you are definitely protected a lot more than using a debit card. So it's a lot easier to get your money back from a credit card than it is had you paid with a debit card. Yeah, so basically the situation is you find out your credit card's stolen, and then you look and you find that there's like $500 worth of charges. So by law, the maximum that you have to repay, even though you reported it, would be up to $50. Um, so I guess that would mean that you would be reimbursed for. So if they spent 500, then I'm assuming that means that you would be reimbursed $450. The exception of that is if your credit card was stolen like this instant, and then you reported it before that person made any charges. In that instance, the credit card company would most likely cancel your credit card, and so you wouldn't be charged any money. But yeah, by law, the max they can charge you for fraud is $50. So that was new to me. I did not know that. So we're getting close to the end. I believe this is the last question. So we're gonna answer this question, and then we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and then after 10 minutes, I'll regroup, and then we can play round two. Um, Round two is going to be the exact same set of questions. I usually do 2 rounds because I know some people cannot make the first round. So we'll play another round and hopefully get some more people to play for the second time. Yeah, so this is the last one. Then we'll take a break. Yeah, I feel like I should have had this question like in the beginning. So yeah, what is a credit report? Yeah, so we know we're supposed to check our credit report at least once a year. But you don't really, if you don't know what a credit report is, then you're probably confused on that. Um, like I said, I actually made a video series about this, so I walked through my credit report and I went over some of the different components. of it. So it's pretty interesting if you've never seen it before. Yeah. So out of all these answers, um, I mean, I guess we can go through the wrong answers. So the top left, a list of financial assets and liabilities. So it does have liabilities on there, but it does not have your assets. Top right, a monthly credit card statement. Um, no, your credit report is not based on months. It's based on years. Usually, your credit report, if you have like negative things that are on your report, they can stay on there between 7 and 10 years. The bottom right, your credit line with your financial institution. No, it has your credit card company will report to the credit bureaus, and then the credit bureaus will make adjustments to your credit report. But that's not going to be the right answer. Bottom left is correct. So your credit report is a loan and bill payment history. So simply put, it's basically your financial history of all the money that you've ever taken out, and then whether or not you repaid it on time. So in the video that I made on my channel, I talked about some of the credit cards that I took out. I showed you my payment history, whether or not I made my payments on time, and you can see anytime someone runs a hard inquiry or a soft inquiry. So earlier I mentioned that I used to live in Boston, and so when I was moving to a new apartment, that landlord wanted to make sure that I was a reliable tenant. So he ran a hard inquiry on my credit report, and so that actually shows up on my credit report. But it basically says that this person checked my credit history to make sure that I was a reliable tenant and I was gonna make I had a high likelihood of paying my rent on time each month. So that's in that video. We're gonna take actually let's yeah, if you've never seen Kahoot, so ideally there's more people playing, but it's basically like a virtual podium. So it'll show first, second, third. Because I was the only one playing, obviously I'm gonna show up on top. Um, so yeah, hopefully we get more people to play next time. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break right now, and then after 10 minutes we'll come back. We will do round two, and it's gonna be the exact same set of questions. And I hope we can get at least one other person to play. If you can't play the second round, no worries. I appreciate you taking time out of your Friday to spend it with me. I hope you have a great start to the weekend, and hopefully you learn something new. I encourage you, if you're not subscribed, I do this live trivia every Friday. So I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. That way you get notified anytime I go live with the trivia. So make sure you're subscribed. Hopefully I see you next round. If I don't, have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon. Peace. It's so funny. So I was just talking to myself. I didn't realize I was muted. Um, I did that earlier too. Let's just start off with a brief introduction, and then we will get into round two of trivia. So first off, my name is Mike. I run the Frugal Fam YouTube channel. I encourage everyone to check it out. If you like saving money and learning more about personal finance topics, then it's definitely the channel for you. Every Friday, I do these live trivia events. I think it's a cool way to interact with with everyone at home. Not only start the weekend off, but hopefully have a little fun and learn something new from the game. So make sure if you like videos like these, if you like personal finance topics, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you'll get notified every time I go live. Um, but without further ado, I'm going to log into the game and we can get started with financial trivia. Yeah, and hopefully we can get some more people to play. So this is going to be round two. Same questions as earlier. Yeah, I like to do two rounds just because I know people from the previous game may have joined late. I know it's an awkward time of the day. Right now it's about 11 a.m. In the morning. I'm on the East Coast in the U.S. So it's a weird time because some people are still work. Most people are working actually. Some people are on lunch break, and some people are just getting off of lunch or just getting off of work. So I'll stop rambling. Let's start the trivia game and see how it goes. Yeah, so if you're new to the game, basically the way it works is the first five questions are going to be completely random. And then after the first five questions, on question six, we will jump into the financial portion of the game. So the first five are basically just for fun. And then question six will be the financial part. So this question is about what is the unit of currency in Laos? Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, and so I found this quiz online, and when I originally took the quiz, I thought it was Kanra. I think the ruble is in India, the dollar is in the U.S. But yeah, I got it wrong. I'm not sure where Kanra is from, but yeah, the Laos kip is the currency in that country. So never been to that part of Asia, but I have been to Singapore. But Singapore uses the Singaporean dollar. But yeah, kip is used in Laos. So fun fact for everyone. All right, no points on the board. Um, moving on. All right, so another random question. Um, let's see. So you're basically which animal is gonna fall into this class? So the class, it looks like it's, I don't know how it's pronounced, but Chondrichthyes. So if there's any marine biologists out there, hopefully you can provide some more context here. I thought it was octopus, but yeah, out of all of these, I actually looked it up online, and this I guess species, they're animals where the skeleton is a majority is made of cartilage. So based on these animals, the great white shark, I guess is majority of it is based on cartilage. So in case you ever play like a live trivia game, um, now you know that sharks fall into that category. Kind of a fun fact. Yeah, no points. Yeah, once again, I put some instructions in the chat box. Feel free to interact if you want to, type something in the chat. The pink box on the screen has the instructions for joining, so it's never too late to play. Hopefully, I actually encourage people to play. Hopefully, someone plays, so it's not just me playing the game. But if not, no worries. Hopefully, we learned something new today and have a great start to the weekend. It looks like this is a question for Canada. Um, what is the Canadian national anthem? I think 2 weeks ago we had someone from Canada that was playing. Um, it'd be cool if that person was back, but I mean, I guess you don't have to be Canadian to know the answer or to guess. Yeah, so when I originally played, the only answer that made sense to me was "Oh Canada." I've never heard the other ones. It looks like the bottom left answer is the Star Spangled Banner, but they just replaced star with leaf, which is kind of funny. But yeah, "Oh Canada" is the national anthem for Canada. In case you didn't know. All right, moving on. So we have two questions remaining, and then we will jump into the financial portion of the game. All right, so it looks like this is a question for about Australia. So which of these is not an Australian state or territory? So it looks like, so know your cars. Thanks for using the chat box. I appreciate it. So I think, I don't know, but is Alberta in Canada? I'm assuming that there is an Alberta, Canada, that's in Canada. I've never been to Australia. Would love to go. Yeah, so Alberta is the right answer. I think that's in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, these other answers all represent different territories in Australia. Once again, welcome if you guys are new. Welcome to the game. It's not too late to join. We just started round two. All you have to do is follow the instructions that are in the pink box on the screen. Yeah, so far it's just me playing, so feel free to join. It'd be cool to get some more people playing. Yeah, so the way this is gonna work if you're new, this the first five questions the first five questions are going to be completely random, and then starting on question six, which is the question after this, we'll start getting into the financial portion of the quiz. So the next question will be finance related. Um, know your cars said nice vid. This is nice. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Know your cars. Um, yeah, it's good. It's good to get feedback like that. Um, if you guys are new, I do this every Friday, live trivia. So if you want to get notified every time I do the trivia game, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I also have other videos on my channel that are based on personal finance and saving money, so you can check those out as well. Yeah, the Luxor Hotel. When I originally did this quiz, I thought it was Las Vegas, but I think they threw that in there to kind of confuse you. Um, I think David Blaine, excuse me, I think David Blaine did a magic show at the Luxor Hotel, but it basically looks like a giant pyramid, which is really cool. I think that'd be a cool, a cool like experience to go to. All right, so let's see what we got. So it looks like I'm still in the game. So the next question is going to start the financial portion of the quiz. So if you want to join, it's not too late. The directions are in the pink box, and so far it's just me. Hopefully, some more people join. I know it's probably a weird time in the day, but I'm doing an open house. I'm in the process of selling my house, so unfortunately, I have to do this early in the morning, um, just because I have people visiting later in the afternoon. All right, welcome gaming Dan. Um, yeah, it's not too late to join. So gaming Dan, um, as I just mentioned previously, the directions are in the pink box. So there's an app called Kahoot, or you can just type in the website on your browser, and then all you need to do is input the code on the screen, and then you can join the game and play live trivia. Oh, whoops! It looks like I didn't get my answer in on time. Um, all right, let's walk through this real quick. So what does being on a budget mean? So I hope the symbols didn't confuse people. Basically, you can only have so many characters in the answer, so I had to replace the word for a symbol. But if you read this, what does a budget mean? You make a spending plan of your expenses to be less than or equal to your income. Um, so if you've ever heard of a zero-based budget means you want your expenses to match your income. So when you do this plan each month, if you make $2,000 a month, you want your expenses to be $2,000 a month. Now, does that mean you should be spending all your money on Amazon? No. When I say expenses, I mean after you've taken care of your bills, um, and then you have to account for your retirement plan. So those can be included in your expenses. Then whatever else you need to survive. But at the end of the month, your expenses should equal zero and your income should equal zero. So that's just one form of a budget. Let's see where we're at, the scores. All right, cool. We have Gaming Dan. Welcome to the game. I'm going to give you a virtual high five. You're the first person to join today, so I appreciate you playing. Also, it's not too late if anyone else wants to play. Um, cool. We'll keep the game moving. Hey, appreciate everyone subbing to the channel. Yeah, I do this every Friday's live trivia. So if you want to play, make sure you're subscribed. Also, if you like financial videos about personal finance and saving money, I also have a lot of videos on my channel about that. So feel free to check them out. So just to give some background, so this quiz, if you've ever heard of Penn State University, so it's basically a college quiz that I found on Penn State's website. So a lot of these questions are based on they're more geared towards like college students. So there's a lot of like credit card questions and student loan questions. And so when I play this, I'm gonna be playing as if it's my first time. So you'll see which questions I get wrong. All right, so let's walk through this. How often should you review your free credit report? This one I kind of guessed on. I actually did make a video about this, about your how often you should check your credit reports. But you get one free credit report a year. So the answer is at least once a year. The disclaimer to that is there's three different credit bureaus, and from each bureau you can request a different report. So even though it says once a year, because there's three different bureaus, you can get one report from each of the three bureaus. So technically, the answer is three a year, three per year. Um, but yeah, the best answer is going to be at a minimum, you should be checking it once. All right, very cool. So it looks like we have Know Your Cars. You get a virtual high five. So it looks like we have three people in the game now. This is awesome. We got a nice game going. Let's keep the game moving. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so you get one free credit report per year. It's authorized by the government. All right, so it looks like everyone said the bottom right. So you can't get a free credit report. So everyone's allowed to get one free one per year from each bureau. So there's three different credit bureaus, and the website is annualcreditreport.com. And so I actually made a video about this, and I downloaded my specific credit report, and it's kind of cool because I walk through it. Obviously, I blur out personal information, but I show you the different sections of the credit report, and some of the different items that are listed on it. So I encourage you all to do that because it's a good way to prevent fraud, because you can see what credit cards are currently open. And so if you see a credit card that's open that you don't know about, it's a good way to prevent fraud. But Yeah, I encourage you all to check it out. Annualcreditreport.com. You get one free one. Cool. And I know this. I know I made the quiz, but I'm gonna be playing as if it's my first time playing the game. So I did not get a 100% on this game. So you guys will see a little bit later which questions I ended up getting wrong. Cool. And it looks like I don't know if I got my answer in on time. Yeah, an excellent credit score. So I guess we can start with what is a bad credit score? So a bad credit score is based on Experian, which is one of the three major credit bureaus. They consider a bad credit score under 670. So the top right would be considered a bad credit score, as well as the bottom left. And then your credit score is the max you can get is 850. So your bottom right, your credit score actually doesn't go that high. Um, but yeah, 850 is going to be the max that you can get. So yeah, 720 and above is usually considered a excellent credit score. I think when I checked mine last, I was at like a 7. I was in like the 780 range, I believe. Um, yeah, you'll see a little bit later. There are, you know, good benefits of having a higher credit score. And look at that. It's the very next question. So, why is your credit score important? Your credit score is important because yeah, and out of curiosity, so I'm currently in the East Coast on the U.S. in the U.S. So is anyone international right now? I know for me right now it's about 11:30 in the afternoon, but I know for some people it still might be the morning or later on the afternoon. Yeah, so anytime I take a quiz, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but usually when I see all the above, I always kind of lean towards that, and I'm not always right. Um, Gaming Dan said he is in space. Hey, that is awesome. Is Elon Musk in space with you? I think that would be so cool to go to space. Um, it is 1:30 a.m. where Gaming Dan is. So you've got to be in. I'm not really good with time zones, but you've got to be in like Europe or Asia right now. I'm assuming I could be totally wrong. All right, let's see. All right, so your credit score is important. Let's go through some of these answers really quickly. Um, so your credit score, the reason you want to have a good credit score is because anytime you borrow money, so let's say you want to borrow money from a bank, they are going to use your credit score to determine how risky of a borrower you are Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the bank wants to make sure you're going to repay the loan they give you. To give you a personal story, I used to live in Boston, Massachusetts, in the U.S., and because the housing market is so competitive there, just to get a an apartment to rent there, usually your landlord is going to do a background check on your credit history. And so to even get approved to rent an apartment, you have to have a good credit score. Now it's not always the case, but usually when apartments are very competitive, your credit score can basically be the determining factor that's going to um, make or break you getting an apartment. So it looks like we have a few other people that joined. Um, M E Price, welcome to the game. Um, so cool. We have a few other people, and Gaming Dan is in Australia. That is awesome. So Gaming Dan, that's why you knew that Alberta was not in Australia. So that definitely makes sense. Um, I've heard great things about Australia. Would love to go there at some point. All right, it looks like we have our first official robot in the game. Yeah, because I don't know how you can have this many answers. I'm assuming it's a robot. I don't know. I don't really know a lot about robots, but yeah, because it looks like we have almost 2,000 answers. So I'm assuming that's a robot. But anyways, let's get back to the game. What is not a method to improve your credit score? I mean, would it be cool to have 2,000 people playing the game right now? It would be cool, but it's probably not realistic right now. Yeah, so that kind of stinks because the numbers are like super inflated. But yeah, we'll just roll with it. I'm not really sure how you get rid of the bots. Um, yeah, what is not a method to improve your credit score? If you only pay cash throughout your life and you never use debt, then your credit score is not going to be in fact affected. Anytime you're borrowing money and paying it back, that is going to influence your credit score. And it looks like we have another person in the chat. Excuse me. Ouija has a question. Does having a good credit score? Oh, excuse me. Hang on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Does having a good credit score allow for lower monthly payments? Yes. So the incentive for having a good credit score, usually you will get better interest rates when you borrow money from a bank or when it comes to maybe purchasing a car. Um, so that's why you want to have a good credit score because usually you'll get better terms when you borrow money. Yeah, so apologize to I think was it Gaming Dan and Know Your Cars. I know you guys were in the game. It looks like the robot took over second place. So apologize for that. I'll have to for next Friday. I'll have to do some research on how to get rid of the robots. That way they don't overpower the game. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, yeah, the robots basically taking over. Maybe we can learn something. Still learn something though. Gaming Dan said it was me who said. All right, so how can you fund a college education based on the answers that are given? Yeah, I can show you. I can give you like my personal story with college. We'll let the timer run down. Yeah, so just we can run through these real quick. So the top so all of these are going to be a way to go to college. The top left, FAFSA. So TAP is tuition assistance program. I believe it is for the state of New York. But basically, once you're accepted, you can apply for grants, and that's money that you are not expected to repay. So a grant is definitely a great way to go to college. And the other options are great as well. I mean, you apply for a college scholarship, or you can work your way through college. If I could, if I could, Gaming Dan says, "Let me take the robot back home where they live." Yeah, I mean, robots probably live in space. Um, Conspiracy theory. um, Kind of give my 2 cents on college. So I graduated with $100,000 in debt, in student loan debt. If I could give advice to like the younger generation, if I could do it all over again, I would start at a community college. Usually, community college you can go to for free. If it's not free, usually it's very affordable, where you can work a part time job and pay your way through. And as long as you get try to get a 4.0, so get basically all A's in all your classes, and then by the time you graduate, you get your associate's degree, and then you can transfer over to a 4 year school. That can significantly decrease the amount of debt that you go into. But yeah, the overall goal is you're not trying to be like me and then graduate with a degree with $100,000 in debt. Like that does not make any sense. So whatever you do, just try to graduate debt free if possible. Yeah. So once again, apologize for the robot. It's all right though. We'll keep the game moving. Yeah. So this was a cool picture I saw. So this is comparing wants versus needs. So I thought this was pretty clever. Do you want an Apple computer, but you need an Apple fruit? So this should be pretty self-explanatory. It looks like the robot did not answer. So Gaming Dan, thank you for taking care of the robots in space. I appreciate it. Sweet. Yeah, so I don't know what happened to the robots, but it looks like they're gone. I'm gonna knock on wood, so hopefully they don't come back. Yeah, wants versus needs. So I mean, I don't really need to go too in depth with this. It looks like we all got it right. Um, a Florida vacation, would be awesome, but we don't need that to survive. The only argument you could make is because this is based for college. A laptop you don't necessarily need because you could always use the free resources that are in the library. But going through college without a laptop is very annoying and challenging. So you could almost make the argument that you would need a laptop. But based on these answers, the books for college is going to be the most accurate. Yeah, Ouija said. I'm just reading the comments right now. Ouija said nine 905th place. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what the deal is with the robots, so that doesn't happen next week. Also said better to save money now to get that vacation later in life. 100% agree with that. What is that called? Delayed gratification. So try not to make like impulse purchases so you can save up for something later. Um, 100% agree with that. Ouija. And then, yeah, Know Your Cars is in 904th place. So, yeah, you guys are crushing it right now. Yeah, I wish it said, I wish it just had like all four of us that are playing instead of the robots. But yeah, so this question is just the opposite. So there's your needs and your wants. You need room and board. You need your supplies for class. You ideally want to have shoes to walk around on campus. You do not need a TV, although TVs are really nice and they make time go by, and they might make college a little more enjoyable. But yeah, you don't need that to survive. All right, looks like we have our first true or false. So you got a 50-50 shot of winning at getting this one right. Yeah, why do you want bacon? I mean, bacon. I mean, who doesn't like bacon? Bacon is delicious. I did not have bacon this morning though, unfortunately. Um, I feel like bacon's also a process to make. I'm a big fan of cereal, just like a bowl of cereal and milk. Super easy to make. Bacon is delicious, but yeah, you gotta like I don't know, you gotta cook it, then you gotta clean the dishes. It's a whole mess. All right, so if I can remember this question, let's see if I remember. So the basic idea is you want to purchase a car and you're going to borrow money to buy the car. And so in the event that you do not pay back the loan that you took out, the question is, can you get a another loan to make another car purchase? And so the answer is no, you cannot. Um, the whole reason you have your credit score is to give lenders a better idea of how likely you are to repay your debt. So the fact that you did not repay your first debt is usually a big enough indicator to other lenders that you're probably not going to repay the second debt. And if they do give you a loan, usually it's going to be an extremely high interest rate. So I don't necessarily think it's impossible, but you're gonna get crushed on the interest rate if this were to happen to you. So all right, Ouija, shout out to Ouija, virtual high five. Ouija is officially beating the robots and Elon Musk in space right now. So Ouija, you are crushing it. Looks like we have four questions remaining. All right, so another credit score question. True or false? It helps my credit score to pay my bills each month on time and not skip any month. All right, looks like we all got that one right. Um, Yeah. So if we had the chart, so there's five different components that make up your credit score. And the most influential part of that is your payment history. And so your payment history is basically whether or not you pay your bills on time each month. And so if we look at that chart, I wish I had it in front of us right now. Your payment history is 35% of your overall credit score. So if you're going to focus on anything, you want to make sure you pay your bills on time each month, because that's going to be the largest thing that's going to influence your credit score. All right, Ouija still in second. And I think Ouija joined a little bit late. So Ouija, you are crushing it right now. Anyone have any crazy plans going on this weekend? If you missed it, so I'm in the process of selling my home right now. So I usually do this game a little bit later in the afternoon, but because I have an open house later, I kind of had to reschedule last minute. So yeah, I'm dealing with moving and trying to sell a house right now. I know that probably sounds super exciting to you all, but hopefully some other people might have some other more fun stuff going on. All right, know your cars is building a rocket. All right, so I'm convinced that not only are you in space, but you do in fact know Elon. That would be pretty cool. I actually used to build rockets, those play rockets as a kid. They usually go up like 250 feet in the air. I think they're actually pretty fun. So the question is, so in which scenario is it okay to borrow money and then repay it back in the future? So this is the question that I got wrong when I originally took the quiz. So I was thinking that if you borrow money to invest, then that's going to be a good idea. And it's funny because I actually have a situation where a few years ago I borrowed money to invest in Robinhood, and I actually lost a lot of money. So definitely not advisable to do the bottom right. It's not a good idea. The best answer, and it looks like one person got this right. I'm assuming it's Ouija. Is if you get a new job, let's say it pays a higher salary and it's located in a new area. Um, this would be appropriate to borrow money because you're gonna borrow money, buy a car, and then that's gonna be able to transport you to your new job. So out of all these answers, the top left is going to be the best. So it looks like we have two questions remaining. Ouija, shout out to Ouija. Ouija is on fire. He has gotten he or she, I don't know who Ouija is, has gotten five answers in a row correct. That is awesome. Yeah, Ouija says just making plans for college. Know Your Cars said sheesh. I wish I had the sheesh sound effect because the sound effect on YouTube is hilarious. Um, all right, we have two questions remaining, and then we're gonna call it for the day. Yeah, I'll let you guys read this one. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I say sheesh the adult way because you're supposed to do like a very long, exaggerated sheesh, like sheesh. But I probably just butchered it. But yeah, the sound effect on YouTube is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, so the basic idea here is this one I actually guessed on, and I luckily I got it right. Oh, so look cool. We looks like we both got it right. So the basic idea here, and I had to do some research on this, but by law, if you report that your credit card has fraudulent purchases, the most you can pay is $50. Now the flip side of this is if you know your credit card got stolen, and as long as you report that to your credit card company prior to any charges going onto the card, then basically what they'll do is they'll cancel your card so you won't have to pay any money for the charges that go on there. But once the charges are on there, yeah, the most you can pay is $50. So a lot of people, so if you compare it like a credit card and a debit card, there are pros and cons to each, but when it comes to fraudulent purchases, it's a lot harder to get your money back from a debit card than it is with a credit card. So paying with credit is, there are disadvantages, but when it comes to fraudulent purchases, the credit card is the best way to go to get your money back. All right, Ouija is still on fire. So this is going to be, we have one more question remaining, and then we're just going to call it for a day. This is the second round. I started about almost an hour and a half ago. I just want to thank everyone for joining today. I know it's Friday. Still have one question remaining. If you're not subscribed, I know a few of you did subscribe, but I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I do personal finance and saving videos. So there's a lot of videos on there. You can check them out if you want to learn something new. These live trivia games that we're doing now, I do them every Friday. So definitely make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out the next time I go live. And without further ado, let's get into the final question of the day, and then we can start our weekend. Yeah, know your cars. I definitely do this on your channel. It's super. I don't know, it's a super cool way to engage with your audience. I like how it's live. Obviously I can't see you guys, but it's cool. You can like interact in the chat, and you can kind of see different answers and things. The one thing though is I don't know how it works with ads. I don't know if you can actually run ads on these videos, 'cause I think you need to have a commercial license. Um, I'm not at that point yet because I'm very low on the YouTube totem pole right now. All right, Ouija just subbed. Hey, I appreciate you, Ouija. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, the answer. So the credit report probably should have had this in the beginning of the quiz, but your credit report is basically a history of how you've used your debt in the past. So anytime you take out a credit card, a student loan, a mortgage, anytime you're borrowing money, your credit report is going to be, it's basically like the footprint of your spending when it comes to your debt. So how much money do you borrow? Do you pay your money back? Do you pay that money back on time? Um, Another thing that's on there is hard inquiries. So earlier I mentioned I used to live in Boston, Massachusetts. So when a landlord wants to check to see whether or not they're going to get, how likely they're going to get paid, but by me as a tenant, they will run a hard inquiry, which basically means they just check my credit report. And so if you look at my credit report right now, I currently have a hard inquiry on there, which it temporarily lowers my credit score. But all it means is the landlord checked to see basically how responsible of a borrower I was, and how likely they are to get paid each month. All right, so if you've never seen Kahoot, it's kind of cool. Unfortunately, it looks like the robot took third place. Um, either Know Your Cars or Gaming Dan. I think one of you, I don't know who it was, but one of you should have got third place, not the robot. Ouija, shout out to Ouija. He or she joined the game like in the middle of the game and still got second. So shout out to you. Guys, that's going to be it for today's game. I just want to thank everyone for joining me. I appreciate you guys spending time. This is kind of a fun way to interact with you guys, the audience, and kind of a fun way to start the weekend. So hopefully you guys learned something new. I think everyone said they're subscribed, so I appreciate that. And have a great start to your weekend. If you want to learn more about anything personal finance related, then check out some of my videos that are on my channel. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday for financial trivia next week. So we'll have a whole brand new set of questions. So see you guys. Have a good weekend. Thank you.